We want more. We're ready for our next chapter. We moved here with the idea that this would be our final retirement home. We have no intention of moving back to the U.S.
They found the beach life that millions dream of. Oceanfront living in Ecuador for under $2,000 a month. But even paradise comes with a catch. I sat down with Graf to break down the real cost of living, the surprising downsides that no one talks about living on Ecuador's coast, and the moment they realized that something important was missing. So, why are they walking away from their dream life? And where are they headed next? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a new guest, a person to give you a cool story and a cool new place that I'm visiting. I just arrived last night. Let's talk about the place and let's get to know who he is. So, what is your name?
Hi, Eric. Glad to be here. My name is Graf from Kansas City. Kansas City area. Yeah.
Awesome. So we got another fellow Midwestern man right here.
Yep, exactly.
I'm from Minnesota, Kansas, and you also have family from Minnesota.
I have a sister that lives in St. Paul and very familiar with Minnesota in general. Yeah,
fantastic.
Great state.
Where are we now?
Today we're here at the La Boca sector of San Jacinto, which is a little fishing village north of Manta.
We are in a place that many people consider to be, or at least in my perspective, an expat hub, and it's had a lot of benefits for people that are considering retiring from North America and coming down to a place where a lot of things are more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And we chatted a little bit about the costs of things, and I would like for you to chat a bit more about that with my audience and with people that are interested about knowing what Ecuador living on the beach costs. Because you live in this fantastic house, it's super beautiful, facing the ocean right there. And people, at least in the US, it's like, okay, if I live on the beach, it's so expensive because obviously first property and then everything else. Like, just what is the cost of living starting with the a typical accommodation on the beach like here in San Jacinto?
Two options, rent or buy. I always encourage people thinking of buying in a certain area, rent first. Always rent first to make sure you like the area. But so if you're renting a house beachfront, for example, using my house as an example, it's about 1,500 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, swimming pool, all the modern conveniences. A house, for example, like ours in these communities would rent for about $1,000 a month, no utilities. And that would be typically furnished, a furnished price. Utilities, our water runs we pay about $40 a month in water. But we probably use more water than most people, watering the gardens and stuff and so on. Electricity during the cool season of the year is around $50 to $75. During the warm season, when we're running the air conditioners at night or during the day, whatnot, it jumps quite a bit. It can be around $200 to $250 a month. Still cheaper than what we did back in Overland Park, Kansas, in our hot Midwest summers, but. For here, it's quite expensive, But the air conditioners, they really suck up the juice. So. Our internet, we have fiber optic internet, high speed stuff. I don't know the numbers, but we pay $20 a month for that. Our cell phone, we have 2 cell phone plans. One for my wife and I. That's $22 for each plan. Works great, So
fantastic. So that's going to be some of the bigger expenditures. Is going to be the rent and maybe some of those utilities. And after that is probably food, right?
Food would probably be next, yep. So for my wife and I, we cook at home most of the time. We don't eat out much. We spend on average, I would say about $250 a month, give or take. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but yeah,
for the both of you, right?
Yep, for the both of us.
Okay. And after food is probably going to be maybe transport and activities, or transport and fun?
That kind of depends on if you own a vehicle. And I don't use mine much. I spend, for example, to fill up my tank on my truck, it costs about $30. It's diesel. I think that's about a 20-gallon tank. Diesel's really cheap here.
Yeah,
$1.80 a gallon.
All fuel here is subsidized, so it's very low prices.
If you're using public transportation, the bus system throughout all of Ecuador is just phenomenal and super cheap. try to think of a good example here. You know, if I wanted to take a bus from San Jacinto to Bahia to the north, 30 minutes of us, it'd probably cost maybe $1, maybe $1.
Right. So I've heard from my girlfriend, actually, she took a bus down from Quito, and I think it was 13 for the 8-hour bus ride. So it's around $1 per hour, a bit more than that for most things. So it's super reasonable, super affordable. If you're enjoying this interview and you're interested in seeing more content like this, you can check out my playlist called the Expat Interview Playlist, where I have been interviewing people from Guatemala all the way down through Central America and now here in South America. Let's talk a bit about entertainment, like what you guys do for fun. How much would you think you spend on that?
Well, honestly, here right now, not much, because there's not much to do for us.
So let's try and sum up all of those things with the accommodation, with the food and utilities, transport, and that type of fun activities. What do you ballpark for the two of you? This is for both of you, right? Mm-hmm. What do you ballpark that at per month?
Our monthly expense here on the beach, we own our house, so we don't have a house payment. We're probably going to be $1,600, $1,700, give or take.
So that's a pretty phenomenally low number for two people to live really well. And
beachfront.
Beautiful area.
And this is prime location.
Back in the U.S., you didn't live in the beach ever, right?
Well,
or you did?
I lived near a beach. You know, when my time in Savannah, Georgia, I was, I don't know, 10 miles from the beach. That's the closest I've ever lived.
Okay. Well, I was 10 miles out. Now I want to be on it.
Now we're just
So when you retired, you thought, well, this is the time to do it.
Yep.
At 51, you moved down to Ecuador, down to San Jacinto. Now, from what I understand, your priorities have changed, or your ideas of living on the beach have changed.
They have a little. You know, we moved here with the idea that this would be our final retirement home, and the more time we've spent here permanently, we've discovered we want more. We're ready for our next chapter, is what we're telling people, our next Ecuadorian chapter. Yeah. We have no intention of moving back to the U.S. What we've discovered living here at the beach full time is that, and especially in these little communities, we want more. We want more culture, restaurants, archaeological sites, outdoor parks, those types of things.
And those are things that you can't find here.
As much as we love this area and the ocean, I hate to say it's a little boring. It's a little boring. And we're both very active. We don't like sitting around in a chair drinking a cold beer or whatever you do. That's just not our lifestyle.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's, a lot of people enjoy that, and that's fine. For us, we're just ready for that next level, and so we're moving to Cotacachi up in the Sierra, which is a little town known for its leather goods. It's north of Quito, about 2 hours, right smack in the middle, between two volcanoes. There's national parks all around the area. Constant indigenous festivals throughout the year. In Otavalo, the South America's largest market, is about 20 minutes away from us. So. We're looking for more experiences.
Sure.
More experiences.
And can you give us a couple maybe tips on things you discovered when you came here that you maybe didn't expect to see?
The salt in the air here, and there's no avoiding it, it's just part of it. It's brutal. It's relentless. It's always there. Anything metal is going to corrode, rust, oxidize, you name it, and quickly. And quickly. So that's been, I knew that was going to be an issue. The pace at which it progresses and corrodes and rusts everything, I wasn't expecting that. It's quite intense.
Right.
But it's manageable.
Sure.
It just means you're wiping things down, you're getting the steel wool out more often, those types of things. But it will be nice to get away from some of that when we're in the Sierra. Getting
back to the food part, because you mentioned like $250 for food. I mean, the food quality here is pretty amazing for me. I eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. And your wife, Janet, she's a vegan, right?
Yep. It's very affordable here. As a lot of people know, in the U.S., probably North America in general, maybe I'm kind of making that assumption there, it's very expensive to eat healthy. Very, very expensive, which is a shame because, that's a problem. And here, quite the opposite. You can eat very healthy on very little money.
I'd like to say thank you so much for watching my videos, and if you want to show support for my channel, please hit that like and subscribe like always. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can buy me a coffee, you can support me on Patreon, and you can also join my channel as a member. That goes to me and really helps me provide all the things that I need in order to make these high quality videos for you guys here in Latin America. Let's get back to the video. You guys typically buy the fruit and vegetables at like local areas, is that right?
Yep, little mercados, markets, or a couple times a week, a little truck will drive by our house full of vegetables, fresh vegetables. Another day, a truck will come by with fresh fish. You know, you buy shrimp out of the trunk of his car. So,
Right.
You know, so
seafood, fish, shrimp here is so affordable, super low cost. I love eating that stuff here. And buying it and making it at home, it's like, oh my God, it's basically free compared to other countries.
Exactly.
Right?
Quick example, bought 4 pounds of Corvina the other day. $10, $2.50 a pound, you know, and fresh.
What was your food budget back in Kansas?
Oh,
when you were
goodness.
there?
Oh,
Do you remember?
we were probably spending 500, you know, I would say between 500 and 600 a month for 3 people. My teenage son, my wife, and I.
But you think that the quality is quite a bit lower there compared to what you're getting here?
Definitely lower. Definitely lower quality. No comparison.
All right, guys. What do you think? Would you ever move to Ecuador? Or does this story make you think twice about beach life? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more chats with expats and retirees around South America.